Hi guys, welcome back to La Vie del C. Welcome back to my channel, guys. For those who are new, gracious welcome to you guys. Welcome to the family. You are going to love you some LC. Okay. Today we are on our last video of For My Good. Today I am talking on the subject of insecurities, and I'm titling it From Empty to Filled, because I believe that, like, when you're in a place where you are struggling with insecurities to such a level that it's beyond yourself, I believe that it is really about it's emptiness, really about having a void inside of you that nothing on earth can fill up. And then to filled, because the one and only Almighty God, the one who is able to truly fill that void, that, you know what, all of us, we sometimes feel it, and only Him can fill it up. um to a point where you can be like, okay, I feel like I found something for this thing that I spent the last 5-10 years of my life looking for a solution. Finally, I found an answer to it. Say, from the time that I was in foster care up to when I came into university, I struggled with some insecurities, specifically with anxiety. And I didn't know that it was anxiety at the time, but while I was in high school, I would have like shortness of breath. Like, I would need to take like a deep breath each and every 30 seconds, every minute, like literally. It would get so bad that my foster mom, she was actually like, Elsie, are you okay? Like, what's wrong? And I took asthma tests to check if it was, if I had asthma or whatever. And no, it was nothing. So we kept going, life went on. And then I came into university and it got worse. And it went from having shortness of breath to having heat, like little heat flashes, like being hot and cold, and like my heart like tightening, and like having pain, like my chest tightening together and being so painful, and being hurtful to even breathe. And like, all these things were going on, along with all of the missing pieces that were in my life. And me, I was just like, oh, I researched it, I'm having a panic attack. I never searched deeper into it to see what was wrong or to see the root cause of it. I just know, okay, I had struggled with this thing, whatever, like, push it to the side. And then came 2018, when I went through the breakup that I spoke about in the last video, and with all the chaos that was surrounding that breakup, and just losing friends, and like losing people that were important to me, and just being chaotic in my family and outside of my family, feeling alone. Then my anxiety got worse, to the point where I was peeing myself in bed. I was peeing in bed at a grown 21 years old. I remember the first time that it happened, I called my aunt, and then I was just like, listen, I just peed myself. You studied psychology, right? Please tell me what's going on with me, because I don't know. And at the time I was dealing with the I was really under a lot of stress and afraid of, outcomes of life, afraid of a lot of things. um so I kind of knew that it was because like I was under a lot of pressure. That's why I found myself at this level of anxiety, and it kind of like just kept increasing and like creeping up and increasing and increasing. And for me, I didn't think these to like now is like this year is really the year that I've declared, that I've realized, okay, Elsie, you have dealt with anxiety. All these things you've been through, you have dealt with anxiety. I have woken from my sleep gasping for air, like as if like the breath was being cut off, like as if my breath was about to be cut off, like gasping for life. That place where I was, of like this level of anxiety, only God, like only God could pull me out of it, especially since I didn't realize the destruction that I was causing to myself, especially since I didn't realize the reasons why I was that way. So all these things that I noticed in my life, it was it was until the reason why I know that at that time I was empty is because like the moment that I got caught up in the presence of God, I started to notice you're not like you're not gasping for air in your sleep anymore. You're not like having shortness of breath anymore. You're not having panic attacks in the way like in the ways that you used to have them. So I know that it was all these places of emptiness that came from me not being with my dad in Canada and the way that I imagined myself being with him, being separated from my family members and being having the feeling of rejection, having anger, holding anger in my heart, like feeling isolated from just who I am in general or the people that care about me. All of these pains and hurtful things, this lack of love that was inside of me, or the love that I was seeking for, that I didn't receive, or that I was searching for, whether it was in friendships or in boyfriends, it was never going to fill it up until I came into the presence of God. And I started to notice a difference. Like I'm being filled with the one thing that I've actually been seeking for, which is the true love of God that is able to take anxiety and crush it, to take depression and crush it, and to make me feel special, not because of anything that I have proven, not because of anything that I have done, but simply because God loves me. Like I didn't have, like for the first time in my life, I didn't have to fight to be loved. I didn't have to prove myself to be accepted and to be loved. I was simply loved and simply accepted. And this filled that emptiness, it filled that hole and that void that was inside of me. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys that till this day I don't struggle with anxiety. I still realize that I do struggle with anxiety from time to time, and I struggle, and I have actually studied myself. I've made it a point to study and pay attention to myself, pay attention to the things that are happening to me, pay attention to my body. And in the last in the past, I think, yeah, in the past month, I've actually had an anxiety, I could say like an anxiety attack or anxiety reaction that came again in the form of peeing myself in bed. And this time, I knew exactly the reason. I knew the reason why, because it had happened, the same reason had happened to me before. So I noticed the pattern and I said, okay, I've caught you. Okay, I make a point to study myself, and I say I caught you. And I sit down and I say, God, this is what I'm realizing. I write it down. This is what I'm realizing. This is what I'm noticing. When this and this happens to me, this is how my body reacts. This is how I get weary. in my spirit, please help me work this out, because your word tells me not to be anxious about anything but to bring it to you in prayer. So right now I'm bringing this to you because I have now noticed it. So it's actually a journey. The state of being filled with the presence of God in order to avoid being empty is actually a journey. It's a daily and a weekly and a monthly journey, because as children of God, as Christians, or as human beings in general, you if you are dealing with one thing this month, next month you might finish conquering this thing. Next month there's gonna be another challenge, and those challenges come with their own battles. Those challenges come, and they come with their own level or their own threat of anxiety. So you have to literally learn to master who you are, to know who you are. And I feel like that is what God has been doing with me and for me and through me, that has been keeping me from falling to depression and falling to deep anxiety. Is okay, yes, I know that I'm being anxious about this thing right now, but Elsie, who are you? Whose child are you? Whose daughter are you? It's about, I've learned that it's about having that anchor that I can go back to, that when the anxiety come, when it comes to face me, when it comes to slap me, then I have something to counter it. Then I will sit down and I will remind myself, I will write it down, I will remind myself, this is who you are, this is who God says you are, this is where God says He will take you. Therefore, these things, that these temporary worries, these temporary things that seem impossible in front of you, they cannot crush you. Let's just say that in the world, as I was struggling with anxiety in the world, that I sought for whatever solution. Like, I sought for the solutions that the world offered to fill me up, but they always let you down. They might offer you temporary, satisfaction, but it never holds you up completely. I'm looking at myself, and like the words that are coming to my head is beautiful mess. It's literally beautiful mess. Those are the words that I'm hearing in my mind right now, because all of these things that I have explained to you guys in the past 7 videos is in the midst of all of these negativities and all of these, like, storms and fires and things that seemed like they were ready to crush me and finish with me and end me. God was getting prepared to use those same things to catch my attention, to a level that, listen, I am not turning back. There is absolutely zero, no turning back. That God in His greatness would use those same things, and He would truly take my ashes and turn them into something beautiful. And everything that I thought was supposed to draw me away from God was actually what brought me close to Him, because when He accepted me, with all of those things. And when He accepted me, He removed the heavy weights from my shoulders, and then He used them to create a relationship with me, to remind me that He was there with me the whole time, and that He will never, never, ever leave me nor forsake me, and that He has not condemned me. He did not, and He will not condemn me for anything that I did wrong in His eyes, but that, as a matter of fact, He is ready to use those same things to conquer the kingdom of darkness. Like, I am honestly just overwhelmed about where God has taken me and what He has done in my life. Even now that I am not at the place where I want and desire to be, but just to see the amount of work that God has done in me and through me with all the trash that I brought Him. I literally brought God. I entered into the sanctuary of God. I entered into Campus Rush in May 2018, carrying a whole baggage of trash, and to see what God has done with me today, words cannot even explain. I can't even, like, there is no explanation to it. And this is all I have shared, all of this to say that it does not matter what deep end you find yourself in. It does not matter the darkness you think that you are in. It does not matter the fire that you think is about to consume you. It doesn't matter what words are being spoken over your life, that you're not going to make it, that you're not going to survive, that you're not gonna live through the hardships that you find yourself in. They are all being worked out for your good. They're all being worked out for your good. And I feel this in me because I know that I know what God has done for me. I know where God has taken me, and I know that if He's done it for me, oh, He can do it for my brothers and sisters too. He can do it for you guys. He can do it for whoever thinks that they are a lost cause, or that they're not worth it anymore. If God if God favored me, He will favor you. So everything, every piece of it is all being worked out for your good. And this was the purpose of me sharing all of this information. And it has brought me, like, now that I'm actually at the finale of these videos, it's actually like, oh, exploding in my mind how much God has done for me, where God has taken me. And I will never be grateful enough. I can never say thank you enough for the goodness of God and His faithfulness and just His compassion, just His mercies, that He would take my nothing and match it with His everything and make me into something. This concludes our For My Good video series, and I hope it blessed somebody. It blessed me. Like, my own stories blessed me. Judge me if you want, but my own stories bless me because it's like I am seeing my life play out in front of me and just remembering the goodness of God. So thank you guys so much for enjoying these videos with me, for enjoying my channel, for coming and being patient and watching my videos. God will indeed bless you, and I really hope that even if it was one of the messages that it blessed and it touched somebody, I just want to give God glory. Oh, glory for His love, glory for His goodness and His faithfulness. If you guys have not subscribed to this channel, let me tell you something. You should subscribe, because I feel goodness is coming. I feel greatness is coming. I feel power is coming. Subscribe to my channel for more videos, because you already know I'm coming with more. You already know I'm coming with some more videos. So like, comment, share, and subscribe. Or like, comment, share, and subscribe. Or like, comment, share, and subscribe. Like, mwah. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah.